Hey, how's it going? Just Moz Plz. Today, got a quick video for you in the Tier 3 German destroyer, the G-101. So I'm pretty sure this was my first premium ship that I had gotten back in the day when the game first released, or not, too long after. And I never really played it a tremendous amount, but I started playing it again. Just kind of with a different commander setup. Got a pretty interesting game. Flipping through the upgrades, we're obviously going to be running Aiming Systems Mod 1. Nothing really special beyond that. And as far as the commander is concerned, I'm using Von Spee as opposed to Eric. Now I'm using Eric Bay as inspiration. As far as the perk setup, we got Subsurface Venture, Fragile Threat, I think Torpedo Safari, Torpedo Safari, on Sunset, and then we're running Unstoppable as well for the legendary perk. So more of a Torp build, obviously. The Torps on this thing are limited, but the reload speed on them is what makes them worthwhile in my opinion. So Northern Waters, Tier 3, Tier 4. We're going to go ahead and make our way through the middle of the map. They got my biggest concern on this in this game was the Julius Caesar on the other team. My plan is to basically get in the middle, do some spotting, launch some torps. Pretty good concealment. We're at 4.9, which is gnarly. So we can get really close to people without the concern of being spotted. As per usual, my team is going to do some questionable things here, but we are going to stand firm in our decision to cut their team in two and ultimately take out as many of their capital ships as we possibly can. It's one destroyer on the other team, who's a V-170. It's a very, very similar ship to us. But we're not quite at A yet. We get one spot on that Kavora in the back. Another spot. We're picking up the Phoenix. And my thought process was, if it's any situation where my team is just going to sit in the back and just shoot without pushing up, this would do nicely, because I will do the spotting. We're going to pull into this little cut here. Now, the torpedo setup on this ship, the arrangement, you have two that can go on the side, and you have two on each side of the bow that you use to shoot in primarily 10, 11 o'clock, 1, 2 o'clock. So we see the Phoenix on the other side of that island. I'm going to pull into the cap circle, and it starts getting contested clearly by the Phoenix. So torps away, one wide, one narrow. Wyoming also heading on in. And it looks like we got one battleship that is going to stay near B, with the remainder of the team pushing in on this side of the map. So again, we're still just doing the spotting here and essentially screening for the remainder of the team that's behind me. Both of our cruisers are doing some major YOLO stuff at the moment. We get one torp landed on the Wyoming. I send out the second set in the hopes to hit the Kavor and or the Wyoming. Destroyer makes his first appearance over there by sea. But for the most part, I feel like we're right where we need to be. The only real issue I see at this juncture is the three cruisers are secretly kamikaze pilots. In any case, 3 torps hit on the Wyoming, 2 of which cause flooding. He repairs both of those flooding hits. we're on the move. We capped A, done our job over here. Now we can get to work on harassing all these big ships we see in the back with our torps. Now, they are capping A, but it's from that Wyoming who is not going to last much longer. And at the moment I have some Asian lady telling me what to do. I'm not a huge fan of that. But basically, if we can just kind of stay the distance we are currently at with these ships, we're going to be in a position to keep them spotted, harass them with torps, make them move, potentially open up angles for our teammates, this battleship in particular, to broadside any battleship that gives them that angle. And we're going to get 3 hits on the Cavor right here. One of which floods. He repairs it. But still, we're doing decent damage for a tier 3 destroyer. Issue popping up at the moment, and that's that the battleship over there is the only person who's able to contest B. And it probably... cruiser and destroyer are both there, along with what looks like their carrier support. Where our carrier's at, what our carrier is doing, I'm not quite sure. Nevertheless, I do know that that's a problem. It's unfortunate that our 3 cruisers are already dead, and one of our battleships. Soon to be 2 of our battleships. So we're still hawking down the Cavor here, making him focus more on evasive maneuvers than anything else. And at this point, my plan might not have been the right call, but my thought process was, okay, 2 places need my attention at the moment. Either I could go assist B, take 3.5 minutes to get there, kill the destroyer, attempt to kill the cruiser, evade the aircraft carrier, or I can push into the back, take out the Cavor, deal with the Julius Caesar, potentially get the 3rd battleship over there, the Wyoming, and go for the carrier all in the same run. So I felt like the latter choice there was going to be the most beneficial for the team. I can't be in more than one place at a time, and again, it's unfortunate that our cruisers threw their lives away before they were going to be able to assist and kind of reeling it in over there at B. So we're limited to 3 battleships, an aircraft carrier that I'm not convinced they know what game they're playing, and myself. We're going to go ahead and begin our trek over to where I think the carrier is, which is behind C in some area. And we're going to be sending out torps. Now, again, another unfortunate event occurs here where the Wyoming and the Julius Caesar branch off. Rather than chase down the Wyoming, felt like the Julius Caesar, number 1, was more of a threat, and number 2, that carrier is still over here somewhere. So we're still torping like a madman. They still haven't taken B yet, so we're still not, all is not yet lost. Although a battleship has sunk since they started capping B. And we're behind on points. Pretty soon it's going to be, exasperated a little bit further by them capping B. Still not quite sure what our carrier is doing. There aren't even any planes out at the moment. And we have both of our battleships are currently at A. So I've got to take the Julius Caesar down. And I've got to go ahead and knock out the carrier and get back to the A area quickly. So we land 1 torp, starts flooding, He repairs it. I deploy smoke. That way I can give myself time for these torps to recharge. He's close enough to where it'll be a relatively easy kill. Fortunately enough, he gets spotted right here. And another torp lands, flooding. And the second set is sent his way. Now I'm spotted just because of the proximity. Pop my repair kit, he doesn't kill me. We take him out, and we get moving on the enemy carrier very expeditiously. Another one of our battleships has been killed by the, I believe, the Wyoming. Could be wrong. Wasn't really paying too much attention there. And the battleship is heading in my direction. So, not the play. And speaking of not the play, finally see the carrier's planes. And are they going anywhere near where the destroyer was once at? No. Are they going to shadow that battleship pushing into A area? No. They're heading for where he thinks the carrier is. And not only is he heading there to attack the carrier, he's using HE bombers. So, not going to go out on a limb and say this game is all his fault, but this dude did not help in any rate. So, closing in the distance to the enemy Hosho, we got 5 spots, 11 torps landed, a cap, 5 floods, 1 incapacitation, 3 fires, 26 hits, 2 kills. Battleship has to be the one to spot the cruiser and the destroyer there. So, I mean, just so typical of this game's matchmaking. Took me a minute here to realize that my right bow torp was broken. We launched a set at the Hosho. He was kind of on the move, and he managed to avoid them. Or more accurately, I managed to miss. But second go round, 1, and then the second set in 3 seconds. Donezo. Alright, we can turn away, and the biggest problem at this point is time. It's time. I would have felt a lot more confident had the time not been any bit of an issue, but unfortunately we have a limited amount of time to make our next play. And I considered capping, but with 3 minutes left, I don't think capping would have been the right move on the board. There's their V170. Cruiser's got about 3 health behind him, so I figured definitely get the cruiser out. I don't know what that battleship's doing. I'm telling them to go back, engage. Got to get a kill here. Carrier is got torpedo bombers, and he's heading to the submerging wreck of the enemy aircraft carrier at the moment. So, I mean, that further showcases what I'm talking about. But in any case, we're essentially in a 2v3. We have next to no health, neither one of us, but he's not engaging at all. So I try to get up here, get the spot on the cruiser, catch him before he's able to push into the objective as well. There's the Monte Cuccioli. And doesn't have enough health or distance to save him from the single gun battery that I'm about to give him. You know, watching this back, I'm thinking of what would have been the best way to win this game. And although I'm sure some people would be like, you know, you should have contested the destroyer and capped B. But, you know, I really don't think that would have been the move, because then their battleships would still be up. We still would have a limited amount of time left to circle back and get those kills. And then at the very end of the game, I would still have to track down that carrier. So it's one of those situations where, like, I don't care what anyone says, you absolutely cannot win every game of World of Warships. You could play the best gameplay that you've ever played in your life, and I'm not saying that this was the best game on my part, but I truly don't think that games with teammates in the way that they are on this game, I don't think you're able to carry. It's just physically not possible with the time limit and the way that the game is set up. It's not possible. Now, I mean, 30 seconds. There's not much we can really do. I decided to just start firing as I drew closer to this guy, attempted evasive maneuvers, and I was blown out of the water. So I had to go into game chat and just ask that guy what it was that he was doing, but in vain. So 15-27 for XP. I'm right up there with the winning team, but you can't win them all. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. Definitely appreciate you checking out the video. Please feel free to like and subscribe, comment. Let me know if there's a ship that you kind of specifically want me to play, or if there's anything that I could have done in that last game that could have potentially gotten us that win. Definitely let me know in the comments. And in any case, I will see you in the next one. Later.